the Backcountry Access Tracker 2. This is the most basic entry-level model in Backcountry Access's range, the Tracker 2. As a transceiver, it's been out for quite a few years now, and does seem a bit, well, I guess not outdated, but slightly old-fashioned compared to some of the other models, but actually still works really, really well. And so let's see, we've got a complicated box, I can't really get it open. Okay, so we've got the instruction manual, guarantee, harness, batteries, and the unit itself with lanyard. Okay, like a lot of transceivers, 3 AA batteries installed. You need a small screwdriver to open, or a coin or something like that, to open the back of the Tracker 2. They'd like the battery compartment to be shut with a screw to make sure it can't get open accidentally. But actually I can manage to turn this one. My fingers, spring-loaded screw, which comes out. Okay, and there's the batteries. So I'll just pop the batteries in. So the Tracker 2 is, I don't know if you've watched the Tracker 3 video, but oh, it's on. Okay, oh, it's just on to show that it's new batteries. Okay, so the Tracker 2, well, Tracker 3 is obviously the refined modern version of the Tracker 2. But one thing that didn't really change between the two models was the BCA's attitude to simplicity and speed of processing. And they truly believe, and the research they've done, is that the best transceiver you can make is one that is super simple to use in the most common situation, which is one person buried in an avalanche. Okay, so the Tracker 2 is optimized for that task. I think it's the only transceiver we sell now that doesn't have digital masking. Okay, it does have a way of doing it, special mode, but it's not quite the same and not quite as easy to use as the digital masking that a lot of the other transceivers use. But when this transceiver was made, digital masking probably wasn't as accurate and wasn't as reliable as it is now. And Tracker played around with it and just said, you know, actually we think it confuses people more than helps them, so we're not putting it on our transceiver. Okay, so it's a very, very simple to use transceiver, the Tracker 2. Before we get into that, we'll just have a quick look at the harness. So it is a stiffened sort of neoprene type harness with a big buckle on the front. Waist strap and shoulder strap, and then the lanyard, which is already attached to the transceiver, so that can be used to attach it to the harness or to your pocket. So that's the Tracker 2 harness installed. Very similar design with the shoulder strap and waist belt to most of the other holsters. This one doesn't have any elastication in it, so it's just fixed tape. It's adjustable but no elastication. Okay, the stretch in the neoprene in the holster actually holds the transceiver in really nicely, and when you want to deploy it, you just squeeze that buckle and pull the transceiver out, and then it's on the lanyard in a pretty standard fashion. Okay. Physically, the Tracker 2 is slightly bigger and slightly thicker, I think, than most of the models on the market, showing its age a little bit perhaps. and a little bit heavier, but not excessively so. But on the plus side, it is one of the lower priced models on the market. Okay, the X on the front really displaying that you've got the two antenna here for transmitting, so to optimize your transmission, and then this little stubby bit on the side, that's your third antenna there for optimizing depth measurement. Okay, when the transceiver is transmitting as it is now, okay, you just get, which side's it on? Oh, where was it? You get, oh there it is. You get a little flashy red light on the side just to show it's transmitting. Okay, to go into search mode, it's quite straightforward. Pull to search, big button. Okay, SE flashing full search mode. Okay, no signal being received. And if there's a secondary avalanche or you finish searching, then just push the button back in to go into transmit. Okay, so there is no masking on the Tracker 2, but there is special mode here, but again it's a little black button on a black background with only the little cutout in the orange to remind you it's there. And the reason for this is that BCA believe that what you don't want to do is get stuck in a search, confused, not knowing what to do, and just press this button because you don't know what else to do. It's never going to help you in that situation. Okay, so if you know how it works, you can use it, and the button's there to effectively, you can use it to mask one signal to look for another one. But rather than completely mask it like the most other digital transceivers do, it's covered in the search video. Basically, if you put the transceiver that you want to mask to the side of this unit, so either here or here, it won't be detected by the transceiver, and if you put it in front and back, it will be detected. So when you want to mask the signal, what you do is you stand right next to it, put the transceiver on one side or the other, and then it won't be detected by the tracker, but you can only see then what's in front of you and what's behind you. So you have to kind of walk round like that, round your transceiver that you don't want to think about, and that way you can look all around you for a secondary signal. Again, it takes practice and you have to know it's there. Perhaps your best thing to do is just dig that transceiver up, then turn it off, and then you can of course use it in its primary, just searching for one transceiver mode. So apart from the 5 directional LED lights at the top, which you'd use when you're to get the right direction when you're searching, there is also one other little LED on the side here, which lights up if the transceiver is receiving more than one signal. Okay, it can't count transceivers like some of the other digital models can, and they normally have 1, 2, 3 or 4 plus. Okay, so what this tracker does, which really is all you need to know, is that it just tells you there's more than one signal. So when you finish finding the primary signal, the one it's searching for at the moment, alerting you that there's another one to be found. And of course if there were 3, then you'd find the second one and it would still say there's another one to be found. So it works really the same way, it's just not quite as much detail as perhaps some of the other transceivers. That's about it for the Tracker 2. A very simple, quick transceiver. Again, processing speed is very, very fast to eliminate overshooting in the final stages of the search. So it's a great transceiver, a little bit outdated these days, but still working really, really well for just about everybody.